What the heck is an iBuyer and why is everyone talking about it? Stay tuned and we'll learn about it today. Hi, welcome back to another Coffee with Coleman, where you're allowed to discuss Washington, D.C., business, real estate, all that good stuff. My name is John Coleman and I'm a real estate agent here in Washington, D.C. with the Jason Martin Group. Please do me a quick favor. If you're liking my content, make sure to let me know by hitting that like button below. And if you want to hear about new videos coming out as they come out, hit the subscribe button. It sends you fun little alerts. Quick tip, if you want to know what an iBuyer program would offer you for your home today, go ahead and shoot me a note below. I'll do my best to come up with exactly what I think they'd be offering you based on the metrics we've found out so far. So what is an iBuyer? Well, it stands for instant buyer. And the idea is some people don't want to go through the rigmarole of putting their house on the market and having people trounce through. And if you can't make it seamless and you can make it more of an Amazon kind of effect and you can hit a button, sell your house and be done with it, well, that sounds pretty cool, right? Well, it does in practice, but let's break down exactly why. The reality of it, we've had iBuyers for a long time in just about every market. It's not any different than we buy ugly houses, we buy houses fast cash. Any of those fun little slogans that you see on the signs on the road as you're driving around is an instant buyer. It's people willing to pay you money for your house at a discounted rate because they want to take the house and sell it and make a little bit more profit themselves and in turn make your life a little bit easier. So what's the difference this time around? Why is there a little bit more buzz? Well, like anything else, technology has gotten involved and they're trying to use better data, more metrics to be a little bit more fluid in exactly what they're doing and trying to make it a quick and streamlined process. So being the curious person that I am, I went ahead and tried to figure out if someone would buy my house. So I went to the 4 main websites that are currently doing iBuyers around the country and started filling out my information. And here's a quick tip for you. Don't fill out your information on a random internet form because you're about to get spammed. And that's about all I got today. Every single person that collected my information ended the screen with, "We actually do not participate in the market in your area right now." So we'll get back to you when that happens. So maybe I'll do a follow-up video when they come across, but for the time being, none of them would make an offer on my house. So I can't tell you the delta of what I would sell my house for versus what they would sell for. But here's a little bit more to go off of. So why aren't they doing the DC market? Well, the reality is the markets that they have hit were, one, a little bit less expensive, so a lower barrier to entry. And second, they are picking markets that are a little bit more cookie cutter, for lack of a better term. DC and the DMV area, the houses are so different in different neighborhoods that it'd probably be hard to track, but when you get down to communities in like an Arizona or like a Florida, it's a little bit more like they came in, they built this community, all the houses are kind of the same, they have different updates, and they can kind of roll from there and try to come up with a quick little mathematical equation about how it could look and what would benefit you. So the real question is why would someone really want to do this? Well, it's convenience because it's not going to make you more money. But if you're at a spot where maybe you have so much equity in your home and you just want to get out quick, it might be perfect. Or there might be other situations where showing the house is difficult, or there's situations that are a little bit more to your liking where not having a bunch of people in your house could benefit you and make your life kind of miserable. So the real question is, what does this convenience cost you? Because the big tagline to the front end is get rid of those pesky real estate agents by getting rid of all those fees. And it's sort of right, but let's look at the numbers a little closer. So on this side of the screen, we're gonna rack up some of the more traditional costs. On this side of the screen, we're gonna go with what the costs look like if you're using the iBuyer program. And hopefully we can flush this out a little bit more thoroughly for you today. And again, these numbers are gonna be a little skewed because they're coming from cheaper markets. So I don't have the exact example for DC, but we're gonna work with what I consider to be a $300,000 price point, which is what some of the other neighborhoods are selling for. So first you have, on line 1, you have the market value of the house. In a traditional market, let's say your house is worth $300,000. The other side of the coin is if you're going to sell with an iBuyer, they might offer you closer to about $270,000. So there's a delta there to start with, but let's see if they can catch up by getting rid of some of all those fees that we're talking about. Closing costs. We'll just round these to be about 1%, regardless of whether you're using an iBuyer program or using a traditional program. or a traditional sale, they're going to be about 1% of the sales price. And this isn't factoring in commissions and all that stuff, which we'll actually get to next. Commissions. This is where they start to catch up. You're talking about 5 to 6% commissions in Washington, D.C., and that's going to the agents, and that's split between an agent that's representing the buyer and the seller. And that's where the numbers start to catch up a little bit, because if you look on the iBuyer side, there's no commissions. So there's a quick reason why some people are starting to think iBuyers might be a good option for them until you get to the next line, because they also charge something different. They charge something called a service fee. And what does the service fee cost exactly? Well, in the market that we've been tracking so far, that service fee is about 13%. So that's not too good. So maybe we're not seeing the commission there, but we are certainly seeing a service fee, which at the end of the day adds up to be even a little bit more. The next line, we get to the repairs. They're gonna have mandatory repairs that you have to do when they come through and look at your house on the iBuyer program. If you're working with an agent, or if you're in a hot market like DC and you're selling, you might be able to not do any repairs. So let's say $3,000 you have to pay with them, $0 you have to pay with an agent, but this is a little bit more flexible. I don't want to pretend that this isn't a more fluid thing. There's definitely gonna be some stuff that they have you do. Whether or not you're able to negotiate that or not on the other end is gonna be whether or not where your house is priced and everything in a traditional market. So we'll just have to see where that goes. The last line is gonna do with carrying cost, and carrying costs have to do with the holding the house while you're going through the process of selling it. And iBuyer wins in this category. You're gonna be much lower, and it's all based on your mortgage payment is. But if you can sell your house in 7 days and you can move out right then, well, that's gonna be very helpful for you. If you gotta hold your house for a little bit longer and you have to do a traditional sale, well, you have to pay an extra mortgage payment or two, and that's going to cost you a little bit more money, although that money is going towards interest and principal, and whether it's principal, you get it paid back, and if it's interest, then it's tax deductible. So there's a little bit of math to work out there, but the carrying costs for going the traditional route are definitely a little bit higher. So let's break this all down. Looking at the numbers above, we're going to come down to a cost of convenience of $35,000. And that's no small haircut. And I don't even have hair, so I can't even make that joke. $35,000. $35,000 is a lot of money. So there is a convenience to it, and for some people, that's great. In fact, I heard of an article on NPR this week that talked about a family that had a whole house of exotic pets, and the exotic pets made it very difficult, one, to plan showings, and then two, once people got inside, all they want to do is look at all the cool pets. So a situation like that where you can't literally sell your house, an iBuyer program might be perfect. And that's one of the things I love about our industry is it's ever developing, ever changing, and giving people more options to have the best solutions for them. And I'm not gonna poo-poo on an iBuyer program, because there's gonna be some people out there that this really benefits, but it's gonna be beneficial at a cost. So whether you're looking to do that or not, I would do some of the math to figure out what's best for your pocketbook, because a lot of the sellers that I talk to these days, price is a pretty important thing. The net that they get out of selling their house is probably the most important thing that they're thinking about. And so getting a big chunk of money less, well, might not be the best option for them in that case. So again, same offer as before. If you watched this video and you clicked on it because you were wanting to know what your house was going to be worth if you got an iBuyer offer, go ahead and send me a note. My information's below, and I would do my best to come up with a quick mathematical solution based on what I know of their programs to tell you what I think you could get out of their program today. All right, that's it. So what did I miss? What were you hoping to hear about that I didn't share? Or what's another topic that you'd like me to talk about? Coffee with Coleman's all about for you, all about building up your knowledge to be more impactful in the DC market. So don't be afraid to comment in the section below or send me a note with any of your thoughts and feelings. Thanks again for stopping by another Coffee with Coleman. Peace.